You're watching Fugitive Redeye, and welcome to another episode of Redeye Raw. So as I mentioned earlier on tonight's stream, I did recently take a trip to Vegas, which is where this hat came from a restaurant called Dick's Last Resort, which is one of the places I went in Vegas. So I'm going to recap what I did on the Vegas trip, and we'll talk about that. We'll start with Dick's, since I got the hat on. I don't know how well you can read it, but this is a hat that they put insults on, as you can see. It says, "I love animals," but the I, M, and S is really small, so it appears to say, "I love anal" from a distance. So that's that. So the whole gimmick of that restaurant, as I mentioned in the stream, but I assume most of you probably haven't seen that, because, you know, different audiences for different types of videos I make. But the whole point of that restaurant is the service is really rude. They insult you, they make you set your own table, they throw the silverware at you, like, not like at you, but they just kind of chuck it on the table, and they backtalk you. It's great. It's really fun. It's all part of the gimmick, because obviously they try to give you good service, but the whole gimmick is they treat you like shit, and they insult you. And it's super fun. So the whole reason we went to Vegas in the first place was a cousin of mine had a birthday, so we went there for his birthday. And at Dick's, that's where we had his birthday dinner, which also we paid for him to get the lap dance, which they do for you on your birthday, which they don't just have, like, oh, some hot chick come up and give you a lap dance. No, they have this great big fat guy named Taco who comes up and gives you a lap dance, and it is a hoot and a holler. It is something else. It's pretty funny. Yeah, the first thing she does when she comes up, our waitress, because Taco's a guy, the lap dance guy, that's the joke. But our waitress walks up, right? She throws the tablecloth, the paper tablecloth onto the table, and she's like, "All right, losers, pick up the shit and set the table." And then from there, it just gets better and better. She's constantly insulting, you know, being degrading and being a total bitch. I loved it. It was really fun. My kind of place, for sure. I love the gimmick. We ate at a few other great places, too. We ate at Gordon Ramsay Burger, which, as you can imagine from the name, is one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, and I think it's the best burger I've probably had, best wings I've ever had, best chocolate shake I've ever had, amazing fries with this curry ketchup sauce that was fucking delicious. Good restaurant. Absolutely loved it. Gordon Ramsay has like 5 restaurants in Vegas. We only managed to hit that one up, but he also has a Hell's Kitchen restaurant there. He has Gordon Ramsay Steak, Gordon Ramsay Fish and Chips. I think there was another one, but point is he had a lot of them there. So other than that, while we were there, we hit up Eminem World, which is an M&M factory gift shop sort of thing there, where you can get all sorts of M&Ms that they don't sell otherwise. Got a nice variety in here. They charge a decent amount for this. I got 2.5 pounds of M&Ms. It was like 43 bucks for that. I also bought a blanket there, and the reason for that was because you can't really see it very well, but it's got the red M&M and it says "I love Las Vegas." Here, let me try and get a better view. You can kind of see it. But point is, the reason I got that one is not necessarily because I wanted a blanket, but because I didn't bring my own blanket on the trip. I forgot to, and the hotel blankets were fucking disgusting. So I got that one. I just picked one at random. They had a few different designs. I just went with that one because I like the red M&M. I actually got another blanket, but I gave it to Dozer Mac because it was only $5 for the second one, and he didn't have one, so I was like, fuck it, dude, take it. But other than that, I went to a casino, and I pulled the Grandpa Simpson joke from Old Money, because I had to. If you don't know what I'm referring to, there's a scene in Old Money from Season 2 of The Simpsons, where Abe Simpson goes up to the roulette table, and he's like, "Put it all on 41. I got a feeling about that number." And then the roulette wheel operator, whatever you call them, tells him that the wheel only goes to 36. At which point he's like, "Put it all on 36. I got a feeling about that number." So I did that. I said, put it on 41. I got a feeling about that number. I was informed it only went to 36. And then I told him, put it on 36. Got a feeling about that number. Put $20 on that. Lost it all, obviously, because the odds of getting the individual number correct is ridiculous. But I had to. Played a bit on the slot machines. Didn't win anything. Lost like 40 bucks altogether. Not a whole ton. I controlled myself on what I wanted to spend, but, you know, I was there. I had to try it. I did, however, keep this 20-cent cash-out voucher from one of the slot machines, because you can't do anything with the 20 cents there. And obviously the cash-out machines aren't going to return you 20 cents. And I thought it would just be a fun keepsake. But there's that. The first night there, in fact, every night there, we were up there for 3 nights and a 4th day. We came back today. While we were there, the people each night would be passing out these cards that have nude chicks on it and their numbers, because they were escorts, you know, hookers, I think. Or call girls. I don't know if there's exactly a difference, but point is, you get the cards. And, obviously, I can't show those on here. I have a couple of them. I don't have anywhere near as much as some of the other people I was with, because I didn't get handed as many for some reason. But there was a lot of duplicates. It was kind of fun. We're trying to make a trading card game out of it in concept. Like, not like one that we sell, but, you know, it's a fun concept. Just collect them. So we did that. Speaking of cards, the first night there, we did also play Cards Against Humanity. We brought that with us. Not that that really did a whole lot differently, but there you go. Because obviously that's not like the idea of going to Vegas. But we did that while we were in the hotel room. We also brought up, Kyler was there. He brought his Xbox. So we watched Baby Driver and Die Hard while we were up there as well. As well as a couple episodes of a show called Inside Job on Netflix, which I'd never heard of, but it was pretty funny from what I saw. One thing that kind of sucked is pretty much everywhere up there technically required masks, which we don't have down here right now. So that was a little annoying, but that was the case. A lot of places didn't really care. They just had the signs posted. Other ones were adamant. They provided them at a lot of places. Some places didn't. Other places charged you for them. It just depended. We also went to this macaroni and cheese place called I Love Mac and Cheese and had the lobster mac and cheese there, which was pretty decent. Certainly not worth the drive because it was really out of the way. It was like 23 miles off the strip, and we were like right near the strip in our hotel. One thing we did a few nights there was just kind of walk around the strip and see all the places. There were these 2 models that charged us fucking 80 bucks to take a picture with my cousin because it was his birthday. Ridiculously overpriced. Like, they said we work for tips, and they're like, oh yeah, on average we get 40 bucks a model, so be generous. And so we all pitched in. But it was ridiculous. Like, why the fuck do you want that much for a fucking picture? I mean, you're not even sucking his dick or something. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, after that, there was actually one of those models that tried to get me to take a picture with her. And I told her no, and she got really upset and was like, oh, what's wrong, baby? It's like, I don't want to spend fucking ridiculous amounts of money for a picture with you. What the fuck do you want from me? First night up there, we also went to an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue place, which was decent. Certainly not worth what they were charging. We have better ones back here that cost less. So that was a little disappointing, but it was where we went the first night when we first arrived in Vegas. We also went to a Denny's, but there's not really anything special about that. We had to go through a lot of hotel/casinos in order to traverse the strip, because you had to park in their lots effectively and then walk around the others. We did a lot of walking over there, which I think is part of the experience. I certainly enjoyed it. We got to see, like, Caesar's Palace and the New York, and a bunch of other casino hotels and all sorts of crazy stuff. That was very fun. Very heavy tobacco scent in the air because it's Vegas. They let you smoke in most of the casinos, which I think is great, actually. I actually think that that's part of the culture, and I'm glad you can still do that. I didn't think you could. I thought that the Clean Air Act applied there, too, but no, it certainly doesn't. So that actually made me kind of happy. Not that I smoked it all up there. I did bring a big-ass cigar, because it's been here a little bit, and I'm trying to prevent it from drying out too much. But I wasn't really feeling up to having it while I was up there. Each of the nights I had a different reason not to, so I was just like, nah, I should probably do it sooner than later. Because as you know, I do occasionally enjoy the odd cigar here or there. I did buy some wine at one of the gas stations there, a little bottle, drank it. I'm not the biggest fan of wine. This one I think was better than the first one I've had. I've only drank wine twice. I'm much more of a whiskey guy. Today on the way back when we stopped for breakfast, we were at this bagel place called Bagel Mania. Really good, actually. Really good food. I had an alcoholic chocolate egg cream with bourbon in it. Really good. I think my favorite thing up there was probably going to Dick's. Again, I love the gimmick of them just being absolutely terrible to you and you paying them to do it. I thought that was super funny. And it was fun. Like, it was obviously, you know, satire, joke stuff. Like, they're not going to walk up and punch you in the back of the head or some crazy shit like that. They just throw the casual insults and snappy comebacks when you order stuff. Like, I remember when we asked her to split the check, she's like, no, fucking learn to do math. And then after a while, she came back and split the check anyway, obviously. But as she was doing it, she very loudly shamed us in front of the table behind us to let them know that we were a bunch of assholes who were keeping them waiting. Super funny. As far as objective quality of the food, Gordon Ramsay burger by far, as you can expect. You don't become a Michelin star chef for nothing. Ramsay knows what the fuck he's doing. Tasty food. Like I said, probably the best burger, wings, and shake I've had. It was a pretty long drive. Several hours from here to there. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many. Because, hey, let's keep an element of mystery. But suffice to say, it was over 3, but less than 10. So there you go. Quite the long drive. Most of the drive up there, I was listening to a book on Audible. I was listening to Milo Yiannopoulos' Dangerous. I do have a physical copy of that book as well, as I have shown in a previous collection update a few months back. But Kyler had some Audible credits, wasn't using them, said I could use one, so I did. So I was listening to that most of the trip up there. While I was waiting in the hotel room, just chilling out between things, I did read a little bit more of the Anarchist Handbook by Michael Malice. So I'm making progress in that too. Yeah, there was obviously a lot of things up there. We didn't get to do everything. They have like indoor skydiving and like, they have these roller coasters and shit, but none of them were running, which was kind of disappointing. We wanted to do some of those because they have like roller coasters that are on top of some of the hotels. Those were pretty cool, but unfortunately, none of those were in service, probably because it was pretty cold out. I mean, cold by their standards. I mean, here, it gets so much colder. But, it was like 55 degrees outside, so I get it. The air, you know, probably makes it much colder when you're on a big-ass roller coaster. So I guess it makes sense not to necessarily run them this time of year. Same thing with the big-ass Ferris wheel, which was kind of disappointing because I really wanted to try that too. They did have some really nice cigars up there at one of the hotels we walked through, but that portion of the store was closed when we were going through there, so I didn't manage to get any of those, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's fine. They also had a few video stores up there. I really wanted to check some of those out, but again, we just didn't have time to do it on the way back or anything. Was a little bit of a shame. I think I was really the only one interested in going to any of those, so it is what it is. We didn't go to any dispensaries or anything like that. We wouldn't have been able to bring anything back here anyway if we did. So, didn't really see much point to that. Other than that, fun trip. Definitely didn't go as crazy as some people probably do in Vegas. We didn't go, like, outside of Vegas and go to any of the brothels or anything. And we didn't, like, you know, go, like, way out of the way and go to Rachel or anything and check out the little alien. That's something I kind of wanted to do, but I wasn't going to ask anyone to do that because none of it was my gas, because I wasn't one of the one drivings, and they didn't make me pay for any of the gas, even though I'm like, hey, I can pay for some on the way back, but it is what it is. But yeah, fun trip. My second ever time in Vegas. The first time I was a kid, so I wasn't able to do anything, really. So this time was much better than that. Certainly not something that I would regularly go out of the way for. I mean, it is a special occasion type thing, I suppose, in the first place. I don't think most people go to Vegas on the weekend. Oh yeah, I also went to this little cafe where they sold me a panini for like $20, and then kept me waiting for like fucking 45 minutes to an hour. And there was a damn hair in it, so that was fun. Hated that. Definitely not going there again if I ever go back. But yeah, if I go again at some point, I definitely want to check out some more stuff there. See a few more little things here and there, because there was a lot of cool stuff. But, you know, for what we did, it was a fun enough trip. I enjoyed it, had a couple days off work for it, so Cannot complain about that. Anyway, I've rambled. I hope you've enjoyed this recap. Toodles.